Warriors 121-104. And Limelight Stat presented by Corona Extra is also one Steph Curry. 386 career playoff three-pointers made. That's now first all-time, and you see the 91 games, almost half of that excellent shooter we know as Ray Allen, also one of the greatest shooters of all time. Doc Rivers said, following tonight's loss, that Steph Curry is underrated. What does he mean by that? How is Steph Curry, who is regarded as the greatest shooter of all time, underrated?
Well, I think it's the impact. And any team, any coach, any player that's ever played against Steph Curry, the one thing you realize is even with your best defender or your best defensive scheme, he still finds a way. And I think we undervalue that sometimes. You know, he goes 8 for 12. He breaks the record tonight, and he did it in efficient minutes. He didn't have to play his best game. It wasn't his greatest game. He didn't have to overexert himself. And you just feel his presence when he's out there. Every three you feel, and it's a bigger three every single time down, and you try and find ways to stop it, and still he gets 8 for 12.
You know who it reminds me of? That guy that used to be in San Antonio that used to wear the number 21. And they just went about their business every season, being very consistent. Also, you know, Dirk, you know, when you talk about this greatness and being consistent on that's in that space and on that platform, night in and night out, Steph Curry is that.
Well said.
I mean, as a shooter, there's so many things that he does well. What stands out most to you?
I think the efficiency. Because if you look at the range in which he's shooting the ball from, like me as a shooter, I'm trying to find the line. I want to get as close to the line as I can. But with him, as soon as he crosses half court, he's in his range. And so to be able to make shots from 30, 40 feet efficiently with the efficiency that he's done it with for as long as he's done it for is just amazing to me. And again, you talk about the attention. You know the other team's game plan. Coach talked about it. What's the defensive strategy?
We say no relax.
No relax. So they are in a no relax coverage, which is basically a box and one on Steph Curry. You don't have any other responsibility, and he's still getting these shots off, contested or not, and he's making them with high efficiency.
Elaborate more on the no relax defense.
Well, I think it's an understanding. You watch TV and you watch Steph play, and you say, how does he continue to get open? And for us, and any time we've tried to play against Steph, the biggest thing for us is you have no other help responsibilities. You're guarding Steph. We know he's going to move. He's going to continue to move without the basketball. He's going to pursue shots when he does have the basketball. If you decide to take a break because you think you need to help, then that's where he's most dangerous. And you see on these clips here, he gets a little bit of separation. That's all he needs. So a hand in his face, those aren't wide open looks. It doesn't matter. And he shoots 11 threes per game. He shoots 43%. And everyone in the league knows that he's the best shooter in the league, and he's still shooting at an effective rate.
Okay, those are all the positives with the Warriors. We can go on for days with that, right? But the one thing that Kevin Durant pointed out is the fact that they had 21 turnovers. We know that if there's any Achilles heel on this Warriors team, it's the fact that they do turn the ball over a lot when they're not at their best. What do you make of KD addressing that? I mean, they averaged 14 turnovers a game during the season, but 21 in this victory.
Well, I noticed that the most successful teams police themselves. And you be honest with yourself. And when they have film in the next 24 hours tomorrow morning, they're going to see what he just displayed and talked about. So you have to address that, and that's some of the positives that you can take away from it. Now, people may assume that it's a negative, but that's a captain, one of the captains of this ball club, saying, look, we could be even better if we take care of the basketball. And they got out to a 19-point lead in this ball game. So I think that's a point of emphasis going forward, and specifically in game 2, is to take care of the basketball and be a better version of yourself, and they will do that.
One of the things that Draymond Green addressed was his shot making. He had 6 turnovers, but yet talk to us about his struggles throughout the season shooting the jumper, and then he said, hey, my shot is fixed, in different words.
Well, he told you. It's all about his mentality. Mentally, he was not locked in throughout the regular season. And so now it's the playoffs. There's a lot at stake. Pending free agency, another chance to win a trophy, the NBA championship. He understands. He's a smart player. He's one of the highest IQ basketball players we have in our league today. We know that defensively, but offensively as well. You've seen the way he's been able to facilitate the ball. In these clips, he's given what the defense is giving him. right? And so when they give him those open opportunities, it's mindset. All he has to do is let it go. And now he's letting it go. He's confident. He's seeing the ball go in. And he was efficient tonight.
I mean, certainly the Warriors have a lot going for them on so many different counts, but when will that cost them? Is it this round, next round, when you get to the Western Conference Finals? When is it that mistake will be too much for them in having a high amount of turnovers?
Well, I think as an opposing coach, and you sit in the locker room and you say it's going to be tough to get the Golden State Warriors out in any game. Just to win a game is tough. And so you do try and find areas where maybe you have an advantage. And turnovers has been an Achilles heel for the Warriors if they have one. But again, anytime you're watching the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry's not shooting and Klay Thompson's not shooting and Kevin Durant's not shooting, you feel good about yourself. And so Draymond is the guy that will have to step up. They're going to need some of their other guys coming off the bench. Andre Iguodala, who's been a key member of their team for years. Those are the guys that are the X factors. But if you can get those three guys from taking shots and you live with it and you move on.
Guys, there was ejection of two players in this game, not named Draymond Green. It was Kevin Durant and Patrick Beverley. Here is Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Y'all good?
Did you feel like, you said you didn't get bothered by the chippiness. Did
No.
you feel like you were kind of egging some of that on?
No, I was not. No, I was just being Pat. It was fun out there. Competed. We really wish we could have played a little bit more without the chippy calls, but I understand it's game one. And they're trying to set the tone, but this is the playoffs. You know, people want to come see a good basketball game and, you know, not so many fouls, but that's things that we can't control.
What about the first playoff experience for some of these young guys? What do they need to do better to maybe see more from in that next game?
I mean, it's just one game. They're champions. You got to give them a lot of credit. They took care of game one. We will make adjustments. We will be better offensively and defensively. They're going to watch film just like we are and be ready for game two.
Would you feel this game got away looking back?
I can't say. I might get fined.
Okay. Tell me what happened at the end. You obviously, it was getting a little tricky with you and Kevin. You looked shocked that you got ejected on that. Is that accurate? From your standpoint, what happened there?
What you see?
The song pushed you out of bounds.
Oh, there you go. Everybody good? You guys have a phenomenal day.
Okay, so if you watch the game and you see what happened with Kevin Durant and Patrick Beverley, you think, man, these guys really don't like each other. But when you listen to the comments after, I mean, they both seem to be in a joking mood about the ejections.
Yeah, I played with Patrick Beverley in Houston for 2 seasons, and it's a part of his DNA, right? He's like that in practice. He's like that on the bus. He's like that in the locker room. He's like that on the floor. One of the fiercest competitors we have in our game today, and they know for them to have a realistic opportunity to beat the Golden State Warriors, not in a series, in one game, they got to create this type of environment. They got to make it chippy. They got to get somebody ejected, and hopefully they can make some shots at the same time.
Got to frustrate them. And look, they got out to a 19-point lead today. You guys had 17 turnovers, you guys being the Clippers, 40% from the field, 36% from three. That's not going to get it. Doc Rivers credited to tip his hat off to the Golden State Warriors and how they executed and how they play offensively and defensively, but they have to be better. And the Golden State Warriors already addressed that they have to take better care of the basketball, so that means that the margin of error is going to be even slimmer for the Los Angeles Clippers going forward. So they have to address some things in-house, and Patrick Beverley is going to have to play with that same disposition that he showed at the end of that game.
I thought Steve Kerr mentioned it when he was addressing the media, and they've talked about it for 2 days, where Patrick Beverley, when you game plan against Patrick Beverley, you have to keep your emotions in check. And he pretty much won that battle today. He got Kevin Durant ejected from the game, and if he can continue to do so, as Jet talked about, you need all your chips to fall in the line. Get a player ejected. Shoot better than 40%.
Yes.
Do what you need to do to find a way to get a competitive advantage. And Patrick Beverley, that's who he is. He's a competitor. He'll get under your skin, and he was successful in doing that today.
So speaking of all things falling in line, so you're going to need Kevin Durant to get ejected again.
That's one.
You're going to need Steph Curry to shoot under 40%.
Good luck.
And don't forget DeMarcus Cousins fouled out in 21 minutes.
I mean, you're going to need a lot of things to happen to, disturb their rhythm and their momentum, but it's possible.
Yeah, so Disturbing their
laugh.
momentum. Yeah, you did. I mean, when you look at what Boogie was not able to do, for 9 points, 9 rebounds, seems like a decent game, but again, just 21 minutes. But we got Steph Curry at the podium. We know what kind of night he had, career high, 15 rebounds, and now set the new mark for most career playoff three-pointers made.
More records, but the significance of becoming the all-time leader in playoff makes from three-point range when you're at the age you are and kind of still in your prime. What kind of significance does that have, maybe compared to some of the other things you've accomplished?
Well, I mean, in terms of playoff records and things like that, obviously it helps you play in a lot of playoff games and have an opportunity to go after those type of things. The way I play, the shots I take, you obviously have confidence every time you rise up, but to be in the same category and to pass a guy like Ray Allen and all the iconic moments he's had, in playoff games or in finals games and all that type of stuff, it's pretty surreal. So definitely, honored and grateful for those opportunities. I always joke though, I shoot a lot of threes, I better make a lot of them. So.
Steph, Janie McCauley from AP, both Beverly and Kevin Durant said that that was fun for them out there tonight, even though they were trash talking and going back and forth a little bit. Steve wants you guys to play smarter, and how do you guys sort of balance the two? And when a game gets a little testy like that.
We got high IQ individuals on our team, and we know when the leash is a little longer, you can kind of get away with stuff like that. There's a nice competitiveness and intensity out there. I'm pretty sure if the game was a little closer, with 4 minutes left, K would have had a little bit more constraint, but he wanted to kind of set the tone that, the way that they play and how physical they were, and, stuff that Pat does, which makes him who he is. We're ready for all of that. So you love the competitive fire. Playoffs is just, it's hard to explain how different it is, and everybody showed up tonight.
Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer, Steph. That first quarter, you didn't get a lot of things going, a couple assists, but the last 3 quarters, that's when you started picking up. Were you just trying to, get a feel for the flow after that first quarter?
Game ones are always, interesting because it's a feeling out process, and everybody comes in with a certain game plan of how to defend us and trying to take, especially me, K, and KD, out of our spots on the offensive end. Can't force stuff. We had turnovers early, and often, but for the most part, it was just taking what defense gives you. Draymond was unbelievable in that first quarter, being confident when he had the ball in his hands, making plays, being aggressive. DeMarcus the same. But over the course of 48 minutes, the way that we play, share the ball, continue to move bodies and stuff like that, and look for each other, it's kind of hard to key on one of us, the entire game, and we got to take advantage of it. So, every game's different too. So, who knows what'll happen game 2 and beyond.
Steph, Brian Benefitemi, KMBR 680. Since Steve became the head coach of the Warriors, you guys are 15-1 in playoff game ones. I know you mentioned that it's kind of a game where you feel each other out, but what's been the key to consistently getting off on the right foot in these playoff series?
Home court advantage helps. Besides Houston, I think we've been at home for every single one of them, so you got to protect home court, especially in the playoffs, and the energy in the building was amazing. It always is. But you come in with the right attitude. Try not to get distracted by, officiating or missed shots. Just play hard. Have a high IQ to what we're trying to do, and good things happen. So, tonight was an example of all of that for sure.
Tomer Zarley from Clutch Points. Steph, about a week and a half ago, Landry had those 5 threes in the first half against you guys. Then he threw KD on him to sort of slow down the flow of their offense. How important is stopping Landry, Shaman, in terms of slowing down their offense?
He's a guy that can get hot at any moment, and they run a lot of good sets for him. You got to know where he is at all times. KD's length is great in terms of even if he has a little bit of separation, Cade can close out pretty quick, and we can switch all over the court and stuff like that. So we did a good job of it tonight. Got to refocus and understand that I'm probably going to make some adjustments to try to get him some better looks, and we got to be ready. So Cade did an amazing job on him. Whoever was on him really just made it tough, and even the one shot he made in the fourth quarter, we had a good contest on it. He just made it, so we just got to keep bodies on him.
Hey, Steph, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. Obviously, the Death lineup has a lot of talent and experience.
Did you just use that nickname? Who's it?
Tim uses
Hampton
5.
Who is it?
Tim uses Hampton 5. I didn't want to steal that.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But when Steve went to that in the second quarter, what did you guys do collectively to stop what they were doing?
I don't really know the specifics. Just we obviously play faster. A lot of different playmakers with the ball in their hands. We got a pick and roll, alley-oop to Andre. You got shooters all over the floor spaced out. And when Draymond's in those playmaking positions, he usually makes the right decision. So defensively as well, we're a little bit more versatile. But again, that's part of our team. The makeup of this year, we have a lot of different looks that we can go to. And we got to be able to adjust on the fly, when those lineups happen, and just play with confidence and play together.
Steph, kind of right in the middle. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. You hit that one shot from 30 or 32 feet with the defender draped on your back as you were running down court. I'm just wondering, a shot like that, is that totally spontaneous, or as you heat up, are you starting to think about, lengthening the floor a little bit?
It's a little bit of both. Like, you don't want to choreograph what you're doing, but you had a couple go down. The momentum starts to pick up, and you just see the rim a different way. Shout out to the contacts.
Steph, it's not every night that you're the leading rebounder of the game and the only guy with double-digit rebounds, too. I mean, what does that mean to you, to do that on that end of the floor?
It's usually not 15, but, consistently every night I try to, help our bigs out and our team and rebounding the elbows and, maybe getting one or two just loose balls on the offensive end, give us the next possession. But, tonight I was off the ball defensively a lot and in the right positions. And, you see the ball in angles and trying to be at the right spot at the right time. And for us, anytime a guard gets a rebound or somebody can just get it and go, it's hard to defend that as well. So I think that's the part that helped us in terms of, one, getting, maintaining possession and getting defensive stops, but then also being able to push and, the wings are running and it starts to speed up our attack a little bit. So it's also fun as well when you can battle with the big guys a little bit and get some boards.
How locked into the Masters you going to be tomorrow morning?
As locked in as I can get until practice starts. So hopefully, I don't know the timing of it all, when the back nine will start, how close that'll be to when practice starts. But yeah, I'll be locked in for sure. Hoping to see some Tiger magic, to be honest with you. It's exciting for the game of golf when he's doing what he's doing.
Well, the Golden State Warriors trailed by 2 in the second quarter. They went on a 29-14 run and never looked back in Game 1, getting the win 121-104.